is now in session. Please be seated. Can the defendant Macbeth please be brought in? The defendant Macbeth is charged with first-degree murder of the good King Duncan at Inverness Castle under Macbeth's care. Macbeth, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Plead not guilty.
Very well then. The trial will now proceed.
May the Crown now proceed with their opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning. My name is Munam, first initial N. Your Honor, the defendant Macbeth is guilty and must be punished for his crimes. After our victory against Norway and the execution of the two traitors, the former Thane of Cawdor and Macdonald, King Duncan named Macbeth as the new Thane of Cawdor. Afterwards, King Duncan, along with his men, visited Macbeth's castle at Inverness to celebrate the victories and Macbeth's new title. They spent the night there, but unfortunately when Macduff and Lennox came to take King Duncan back to his own castle, it was found that he had been gruesomely stabbed to death. Despite of the blood being on the guards that were blocking the door, and Malcolm and Donald Bain fleeing to other countries, the one true suspect of this murder is truly Macbeth. The guards were drunk and unable to move or act rationally. How would they be the ones that killed the king? And Malcolm that day was named as the new Prince of Cumberland. They had no reason to kill the king. King Duncan had been nothing but kind to everyone, including his own son. The Crown believes that Macbeth wanted to be more than a Thane. He wanted to be the king. But when King Duncan named his son as the new Prince of Cumberland, Macbeth got furious. Killing Duncan in his sleep under his care and supervision, and then framing the guards for the murder was really convenient for the tyrant Macbeth. Through the court we'll hear from two witnesses who are Lady Macbeth's doctor and the worthy Lennox. They'll talk about what each of them had seen and noticed changes in Macbeth and his journey towards becoming a tyrant, while backing them up with evidence. And after hearing our witnesses, the Crown hopes to punish Macbeth for his crimes and set a precedent for all others thinking of betraying the Crown and destroying the order. The Crown would now like to call its first witness, Lady Macbeth's doctor, to the stand. Do you wish to affirm or swear on the Holy Book?
I wish to swear on the Holy Book.
Do you swear that any evidence that you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Doctor, you have been observing Lady Macbeth prior to her death, right?
That is correct. I have been observing Lady Macbeth before her death. I was hired by the defending Macbeth to observe his life and to diagnose her with any illnesses. And then I was told to cure any illness that she had encountered.
And during your observations, did you notice any strange or unusual behavior from her?
I'd rather not say the behaviors that I've seen in front of the court. But all I will say for now is that I had noticed her sleepwalking at night and doing unusual behaviors. These behaviors that I've never seen before in any of my patients before her. It was very tragic to watch.
So you must tell the court about what you have seen. For the sake of justice, you must say so.
God forbid what I've seen, what I say in this court be the truth. But I had noticed Lady Macbeth waking up at odd hours of the night, lighting a candle, and then going and sitting in the center of the floor, where she rubbed her hands with nothing, just rubbed her hands, while uttering random words with significance that I had not yet had knowledge of until after I heard the same quotes over and over again from her. I remember she saying, one thing she said was, I never knew that the old man would have so much blood in him. I was pretty sure that this line, it referred to the good King Duncan and his murder. Also, before the nightly ritual ended at night, she would usually end it off by saying, to bed, there's knocking at the gate. This is very strange to me at the time, but I'm pretty sure this is when she referred to Macbeth. This gave me an idea that they conspired together to do something.
And is there any proof to what you have said right now?
I've been recording all my experiences with Lady Macbeth in a journal, which has been taken as evidence.
And the court would now like to enter the doctor's journal as evidence. And so, doctor, to conclude, do you think Macbeth personally committed the crime?
I believe Lady Macbeth and Macbeth both conspired together. And God forbid that they were the ones who murdered the good King Duncan. But yes, I do believe that they have done the action.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
So, Doctor, as you have stated earlier, you have been observing Lady Macbeth before her death, is that correct?
As I stated earlier, I have been observing Lady Macbeth.
You are a certified doctor, is that correct?
Sure as hell am I certified doctor.
Well, you're not as good as a priest when it comes to spiritual matters.
I'm not a priest, I do not do spiritual matters, I'm a doctor.
So you would know very less when it comes to spiritual matters, is that correct?
I do know a little bit about spiritual matters, yes.
I'm saying that again. So you would know very little when it comes to spiritual matters, is that correct?
I guess that's correct, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
The Crown would now like to call its second witness, Lennox, to the stand. Do you wish to affirm or swear on the Holy Book?
Swear on the Holy Book.
Do you swear that any evidence that you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
So Lennox, you have been accompanying Macbeth and seeing his recent behavior, right?
Yes, I have been observing his recent behaviors.
And you were present on the night of King Duncan's murder, right?
I.
So can you list some events, some significant events that might be, important to the case at hand?
On the night of the murder, I went to Inverness Castle to go pick up the good King Duncan to take him back to his own castle. I was accompanied by the good Macduff. We went to the castle, we were knocking quite a few times before the porter had to come. We knocked actually a lot of times, to be quite accurate and quite truthful. It took the porter quite a while because he was drunk to come and actually open the gate. When I entered the castle, I was very surprised that Macbeth was still awake at such a late hour, but I did not question anything at the time. Then I went to go look at King Duncan. I saw that he was murdered, walked out, and Macbeth said that he did not know what was happening, and he said he thought the servants might have done it because there was blood on him, on the servants. Now when we went back in, Macbeth brutally slaughtered the servants alive. I had no reason why he would have done such an action and taking it into his own hands. I found that morally wrong, and I did try to grow suspicion from there. Like that's when suspicion started growing on me, right? A little bit later, I noticed Macbeth went to a galley or a banquet at his place, and he was hallucinating and pointing at a stool and yelling out like, "Don't shake thy glory locks at me." I do not know who he was referring to at that point in time, but he acted like a fool. A little bit later, I went to go see him again, and I was going to inform him that Macduff was leaving and fleeing to England. He was at a cavern, and when he walked in, he asked me if I saw the weird sisters. It was really strange to me. So yeah, he's been acting very strange since the death of King Duncan.
So you said that you had been knocking a lot on the night of the murder, and the doctor also previously said that Lady Macbeth, during her sleepwalking, was also talking about, knocking. There's knocking at the gate. And do you confirm that?
Yes, I knocked a lot on that gate because the porter was drunk and it took him a very long time to open the gate.
And to conclude, do you personally believe that Macbeth actually committed the murder?
I do believe Macbeth actually committed that murder.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Lennox, you were in the Inverness Castle when the murder happened, right?
Aye, that is correct.
Well, Macbeth is one of your seniors when it comes to ranks, is that correct?
Yes, he is my senior, but I don't get the point of that question.
Well, it could be that you're just trying to take him down as we speak and trying to move up in the ranks.
Of course not. What nonsense is this?
Okay, calm down. In your previous testimony, you said that you found Macbeth's behavior suspicious, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
But then, you said it seemed like the guards have killed Macbeth.
Yes, but that was before Macbeth started.
No further questions, Your Honor.
What is it? May the defense attorney please proceed with their opening statements.
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Joab, first initial B. Your Honor, Macbeth, the defendant, is innocent and shouldn't be punished. Malcolm and Donalbain are the ones to blame here. During the night of the murder, they both fled to England. This only happens in a case when the murderer is guilty and is scared to get questioned. My next evidence is that Macbeth was given the title Thane of Cawdor, and there is no reason why he would be trying to kill King Duncan that night. And on top of that, King Duncan was Macbeth's cousin, so there is absolutely no reason why Macbeth would do such a thing. And even if he did kill King Duncan to become king, there was no way he would be crowned king, because King Duncan didn't only have one, but two sons, who were in line to be king. Your Honor, when Duncan went to Macbeth's castle to celebrate Macbeth's new title, his son took it as an opportunity to frame Macbeth, because it would look obvious that Macbeth had killed their father, as he was sleeping under his protection. The defense would now like to call their first witness, Satan, to the stand.
Do you wish to affirm or swear on the Holy Book?
Swear on Holy Book.
Do you swear that any evidence that you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Satan, are you Macbeth's trusted?
Yes, sir. I've been very loyal to him since the beginning, and I still am.
So have you noticed any changes in behavior when it came to Macbeth?
Ever since the death of King Duncan, his beloved cousin, King Macbeth, has been mad and lost. The loss of his dear cousin had taken a toll on my lord. He had become weary, he had become irrational and short-tempered, as if the guards not only took the life of King Duncan, but it also took a piece of King Macbeth.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Perfect. So Satan, you were the chief servant of Macbeth, am I correct?
Yes, sir, that I was.
And you were assisting him throughout the war, am I correct?
Yes, I was one of the only people that was loyal to him since the end.
And were you loyal to him because you were scared, or was your loyalty genuine?
Sir, I knew that he was innocent and honorable all along. I didn't doubt him once, which is why my loyalty was indeed genuine.
And during your time with Macbeth, don't you think he was starting to become kind of, insane, starting to lose his sanity?
I don't know what you're talking about. Macbeth is innocent as far as I know.
Well, it's been known that Macbeth kept talking about, Burnham Wood, marching to Dunsinane Castle. What kind of person in their right mind would say such things? A person with, that much hallucinations or whatever they keep on thinking about, it's not surprising if they committed murder, Don't you think so?
I don't know what you're talking about. Macbeth seemed like he seemed like a good person.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
The defense would now like to call the defendant, Macbeth, to the stand.
Do you wish to affirm or swear on the Holy Book?
I swear on a holy book.
Do you swear that any evidence that you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Macbeth, please explain the murder of King Duncan.
I heard knocking coming from the castle for quite a long time, which woke me up. When I went to check who it was, I saw Lennox and Macduff standing there. They entered the castle, and they came to wake up King Duncan, and when Macduff entered the king's chamber, he was horrified by the sight. And when me and Lennox went to go check what made his so sick, I was infuriated. I saw the king lie dead right in front of me. He was under my care. I was supposed to protect him. This made me very angry, which led me killing the guards in the chamber, because clearly they failed to serve their purpose.
And where were Malcolm and Donalbain during this moment?
Malcolm and Donalbain approached us together and asked what was wrong, acting like they had no idea what was going on in the situation. They asked who did. These were the only words that spoke to me before fleeing to England with their father's blood on their hands.
Why did they flee to England?
Well, I see no reason but the fear for someone finding out the true faces. They had no reason to flee the country because after their father, they would have be the closest line in the future of the king.
Macbeth, when the king came to your castle, you were already given the title, the Thane of Cawdor, am I right?
Yes, that I was, and therefore I had absolutely no reason to, oh God, forgive me for even thinking of these horrible words, to kill my own very cousin. Oh, why would I do such a thing?
No further questions, Your Honor.
So Macbeth, you were recently given the title as the new Thane of Cawdor, right?
Aye, that I did.
And you were also given the title as the new King of Scotland, am I correct?
Yes, since Malcolm and Donalbain fled, I was next in line to be the king.
Coincidentally, the murder actually took place under your own care, am I correct?
Yes, it did, unfortunately. He was truly a good king.
And is it true that you blamed the guards and killed them just because you assumed that they were guilty for King Duncan's murder?
I didn't assume anything. They were guilty. King Duncan's blood was on their hands and not mine.
But don't you think they deserved a fair trial? Maybe we would have liked to know why they had killed the king if they actually did kill the king. But now, because of your short temperament, that's not
There was
possible.
no need for a trial. No one else could have possibly killed
Order
them.
in the court.
They got what they deserved.
Or maybe you just wanted to frame them, because you wanted safety from ever being questioned. With you framing them, you would have never been questioned. They would have been the one to be blamed on.
Nonsense. This is a disgrace to me as king. How dare you accuse me of such crimes? I do not need to answer to you.
Huh. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Can the parties please proceed with their closing statements?
Your Honor, you have now heard the testimony of the accused and his close servant that King Duncan was a much respected figure for not only Macbeth but for the entire Scotland. Macbeth was already in a good position with not one but two titles on his head, one being the Thane of Glamis and the other being the Thane of Cawdor. He had no need to even think of such a horrible deed of killing his own people, let alone his dearly cousin, the beloved King of Scotland. Your Honor, Satan has also mentioned that the death of King Duncan took a big toll on Macbeth, which proves that Macbeth was soft at heart and could never do such a deed. He was truly broken by his cousin's death. That actual murderers that we should be turning our heads against are Malcolm and Donalbain, whom had escaped from their punishment. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, you have heard from two witnesses today who are Lady Macbeth's doctor and Lennox. From Lady Macbeth's doctor, the court heard that Lady Macbeth's sleepwalking showed that doctors what happened in reality. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth plotted to murder King Duncan together. She constantly urged Macbeth to wash his hands to get rid of all the blood that has been spilled. She also mentions hearing knocking at the gate before going back to sleep. To confirm that our second witness, Lennox, had actually been the one who was knocking alongside Macduff on the gate during the night of King Duncan's murder. Lady Macbeth's actions during her sleepwalking was nothing but the harsh portrayal of the reality. From Lennox, the court heard that Macbeth has slowly started to lose his sanity, causing him to act strangely and irrationally. Satan himself seemed more afraid of Macbeth than actually being loyal to him. He is sure that Macbeth is innocent, but does not have actual facts to back up his statements. Your Honor, you saw the way Macbeth acted during my cross-examination. His short temperament and aggressive nature only goes to prove my point, which is that he is unable to act rationally. Macbeth wanted to be the most powerful man in Scotland, and in order to achieve that goal, he had to eliminate anyone in his way, including King Duncan. King Duncan, a man loved by everyone, was good at heart and innocent, and did not deserve such a cruel fate. For his actions against the law, Macbeth must be punished. The Crown hopes that the justice will be demonstrated today, and that our children can peacefully sleep at night once again, and forget about the tyrant Macbeth and his reign as the king. Thank you, Your Honor. All rise. The court is now adjourned for 15 minutes. Order in court. All rise. Court is now reconvened. Please be seated.
Thank you. After much deliberation over this very important case, I find the defendant Macbeth to be guilty.
What? You can't say me like this. I'm king. I did not commit the crime.
Order in the court. I find the defendant to be guilty because of the evidence that was presented in front of the court today. The witness testimonies against Macbeth put most doubt on him of killing the good King Duncan. I see that Macbeth was in fact there during the murder, as it was committed in Macbeth's own palace. Also, the testimony from Lennox put doubt of the murder that unfaithful knight towards Macbeth because of the unusual actions to take law into his own hands and kill the so-called murderers. The fact that Macbeth committed the murder was proven by Lady Macbeth's doctor, who noticed strange behaviors from her. In the doctor's journals,
The doctor recorded the strange behaviors and how the two conspired together to commit the actual murder. This was backed up with Lennox's testimonies. The two conspired to kill the king for their own benefit and use their ambition to fulfill their desires. Because of this, I find Macbeth guilty of first-degree murder of the good King Duncan, and I order a sentence for Macbeth to lifetime maximum security prison with no chances of parole.
All rise. Court is now adjourned for the day.